Good evening, sports fans. This is the VIP Sports Show headlines for Monday. Over the weekend, you have probably seen, unless you were gone with no communication on TV, radio, or internet, or social media, on Saturday night, Andrew Luck announces his retirement on the third preseason game of the year. He was retiring at 29 years old, drafted in 2012 with that elite class, with RG3 in there, Nick Foles, but for him to retire at 29, his body was beaten down. He was injury prone. He was hit hard a lot. He stepped out. He was injured for the whole 2017 season. He was actually named the 2018 NFL Comeback Player. But, the injuries, I got to applaud him. At least he knew when to do it versus when it was too late to do it. Now the Colts are struggling to find a quarterback. I believe they found a guy in their backups to take the role. But I know that they're probably exploring other options as a backup. You got Stan Bradford out there, and you also got Kaepernick out there. I'm not too sure if the Colts will pull the trigger. I do know that they let him keep the money left over. I believe it was like almost $25 million. They let him keep instead of repaying it. So, if I was a Colts fan, I'd be looking at the training facility. And I'm just saying, as a fan, you had Peyton Manning and you had Andrew Luck, and they had some really severe injuries, rehabs with that organization. And I would just be asking to myself, what is going on with that training facility? Is it the staff? Is it the rehab? What is causing? Because those are two quarterbacks that were in their prime. Peyton Manning, was injured, and then he was eventually released because he was a hit on the salary cap, and they went to the Broncos. And look what he did for the Broncos. Got him to the Super Bowl a couple times, won one, retired. He's happy. Andrew Luck coming in there, 2012, being out for a whole year, but he had ankle, shoulder. He had so many injuries, so many hits, so many times. I know he played rough in Stanford, but, like I said, if I was a Colts fan, I'd be looking at the organization, seeing what did you guys do for treatment to prevent this to happen to another quarterback that comes in. So that is my view. That is my opinion about the Andrew Luck thing. For him to retire at age 29, other players have done it. Chad, you got Barry Sanders, he retired. So, he had to do what was best for him and for his family, the way it was all done. I don't think it was right for him to be booed off the field. I think there was a right way and a wrong way to handle the story. How ESPN reported it at halftime on a game, so everyone knew what was going on when the game was going on. Versus, they could have sat in the story as a courtesy to the Colts, to Andrew Luck, to sit on the story until Sunday to release that story. Just to click that's what I would have done. I would have sat in the story. Or and to say, okay, you want us to release it now, we will. But I would have sat in the story, so if you didn't break the story, but at least you did a courtesy to Andrew Luck and to the Colts and to the fan base. So that's my opinion. I want to talk to you about the wild card race going on in the MLB. It is intense. It is great. These are times when baseball fans come out to watch. The teams you have still in the hunt for the wild card, you got Cleveland, Tampa Bay, Oakland, Boston, and the Texas Rangers. That's right. Texas Rangers are 12 games out. Boston, World Series champions, a little bit of hangover. You are 6 games back. I don't know if you guys will be able to make the wild card, but you guys are only 6 games back. So it'll be interesting. In the NL race, NL division, man, you got some great teams. You got Washington, Chicago, Philadelphia, Milwaukee. Those are the games that you need to watch. Tonight I'm looking at the St. Louis-Milwaukee game. St. Louis has been on fire these past games. They are dominant. They are winning. Their go-to Milwaukee is actually an ESPN network game tonight. They actually have a doubleheader. The second game I'm looking to watch is the New York Yankees. They swept the Dodgers. They're in Seattle. They have not named the pitcher for Seattle or the Yankees yet as of right now, but that should be intense. And then you got Oakland in Kansas City. Oakland's on fire. They want to be in the hunt. They want to be in the wild card. So you got that game going on. And then turning into the FIBA. I don't know if you guys saw for the men's team, they snapped the 84-game winning streak. They lost. They came back and beat Canada 84-68. That is a good sign that they made the team got a reality check, and hopefully we can pull it off for the FIBA and get ready for the Olympics coming up next year. And the rest of the stories I'm going to talk about is about college football. Texas has suspended one of their players from the home opener for a misdemeanor gun charge. So the outlook, they're playing a very, they should be able to win on Saturday. So it's not, but it's still a distraction from the team to deal with this. Hopefully it will get resolved. Hopefully everything will work out. I want to talk about the games on Thursday. College football will be back in full swing this weekend. And the games I'm going to be watching is going to be the Georgia Tech, Clemson. That airs on the ACC network. Debut game, Clemson. Clemson is favored really well. But it's a division game, so you really don't know conference. You really don't know what the outcome is. But Clemson is at home, and it's going to be a very dominant, high scoring on Clemson. They're playing against Georgia Tech. I'm not doing anything wrong with Georgia Tech, but you're going against Clemson. So the coaching staff to go against Clemson players is going to be a very challenge for them to overcome during that game. The second game I'm looking at is the Texas A&M in Texas State. Texas A&M, you're 99.9% going to win this game. Nothing against Texas State, nothing against the players, the people that go there, but A&M is just going to be very dominant. It's going to be a high-scoring game. It'll be a good breath of fresh air for the A&M football team. Now, for the other game I'm looking at, it's going to be a battle of Utah. You got Utah versus BYU at BYU. That is always a heated rivalry game. Very hard-hitting penalties. Sometimes you'll see fights. You never know. But that is a late game on ESPN that night, that Thursday. Utah, BYU. I'm tuning those. That's what I am looking forward to this week, to these games. We are just fired up over the college football season starting. And in 2 weeks, we got the NFL starting. We have another preseason game. All the teams are playing on Thursday. So that is more than likely your starters will not be playing. It's mostly a dress rehearsal for the players that do get cut, if they get cut, to have game tape so they can get another position, another job with the NFL. So those are your headlines for today, guys. This is Michael with the VIP Sports Show. Headlines for Monday. You guys have a great day. Watch some good games.